What's up, Mystic Manifesting family? Nick with Mystic Manifesting here. A little bit out of the studio today. Just finished up at the gym. And like as you guys know, I'm going full-time balls to the wall with this, as I've done before in the past with other endeavors. But when it comes to manifesting or hard work or anything in life, we always go balls to the wall and work hard on our goals. So anyway, whatever it takes, here I am in the garage. Today's video, I want to talk about something that I learned from a client. Actually, this is something that never even crossed my mind, but it's a very unique experience, or not experience, but situation. It's a unique situation. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing it or has experienced this before, but to me it was new, and it was something I thought would be interesting for you guys and could potentially give you some motivation. And it is, what is your SP experiencing while you're manifesting them? Now, the story I'm going to tell, I do have permission from the person who told me the story, but I'm going to keep them anonymous for the sake of the story. And I've already made a video on this topic. What does your SP think while you're manifesting them? Now, I'll tell you from my experience and what I've seen, and then I'll tell you what my client experienced from his situation. Okay, so they think what you believe that they're thinking. Simple answer, right? It's this, why make a whole long video that's probably going to be over 10 minutes about it? Well, this comes up a lot. It's actually a frequently asked question. It's in the DMs. It goes with not only like my emails and my sessions and the comments, it's just everywhere. They always want to know, what is your SP thinking? Well, if it's your world, you're the creator of your reality, and everyone is you pushed out, then they could only be thinking what you think that they're thinking, right? So I will give an example and a success story about when I was manifesting my SP. When I was manifesting my SP, you guys know the story about the eavesdropping technique. When I was feeling down and I couldn't visualize an end scene, I would use an eavesdropping technique that was something easy for me to believe. My SP lives with her best friend, so I pictured her with her best friend sitting down talking about me. What are the odds? Her best friend met me once on our first date. We just happened to run into each other at the place. I don't even remember her face that well, or she has a kind of a distinct voice, so I kind of remembered her voice. And it was funny because I can remember her best friend's voice, but not my SP's, because at the time it was like a couple weeks since we'd seen each other, and we would go through these periods of separation. And if you don't know, that if you're new to the channel, I've manifested my SP back 5 times, or 5.5, whatever it is. We're together now, and things are good. And this is a story and everything that helped me manifest my SP back. And plus to losing her all these times was I learned new techniques and new things in different situations. So long story short, I would picture them talking, having a conversation. Roughly what it was best friend telling SP, oh, Nick's a great guy, you should be with Nick, why are you not? Then I would picture SP with, because it's believable for me, yeah, I know, I think he's great, but I don't know why. And I didn't know the real reason. I found out later on there was a third party, but I didn't know the real reason why she wasn't there. And then when I found out about the third party, that's another situation to talk about. But in this case, I would drop in on this eavesdropping technique. And when we got back together, I had a conversation with her best friend. When we talked, because now it's all close and we talk to each other. I was talking to her best friend one of the times, and she's like, yeah, I used to always sit down and talk with her. And she would be like, and she goes, I would always be like this. And then she would always be, oh, like this. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's exactly what I was visualizing. And then SP would be like, my best friend would say this and this, and now it's 2 different people at 2 different times, and it's the ones I was visualizing that was happening. So your SP is thinking, experiencing, and feeling whatever you believe they are. But in the 3D, don't get discouraged, because in the 3D, I was seeing nothing. I was still blocked everywhere, no contact. As far as I knew, there could be a third party, and there was. There was a whole bunch of other stuff going on where it's like I didn't see the movement. And if I was only paying attention to the 3D, that was never happening, but it was happening. Okay, so that's one thing, that's using the eavesdropping technique. Now, one-on-one with SP, when I would use my technique that I love to use, that I learned, I'll always give credit to where I learned it from. I learned it from Elmer Lockett Jr., was the technique that his grandpa taught him from Neville Goddard when you want to get your ex back. It was laying in bed, visualizing that he was talking to his ex. So I would do that too. I was talking. She's like, oh, I'm so dumb for breaking up with you, and this and that. Kind of played with it and made it more playful. And it's like, I wish I didn't. I'm so sorry. And like, it would just change up the conversations, roughly the same, apologetic and remorseful and regretting, and me forgiving and loving, and then both of us is in a loving state. And now when we wound up, every time we got back together was a very similar scene that I played out there. Or I would picture my SP telling me certain things that are out of her character, and they would happen. So your SP, and it's not just a specific person in romantic relationships. I've used this with bosses and changing personalities, and I've used it with other people in my reality where it's like, wouldn't it be fun if they would just do or say this just to test out the law a little bit? It's a mini manifestation, no harm, no foul, no anything. It's just something just to test out the law, right? Well, Neville also talks about this where he had his publisher say that that was a fantastic book, and his publisher would always say, "It's okay, it's all right, whatever." And like he was very overly critical of Neville, not overly critical, but never impressed with him. So Neville had him say that was amazing, or that was fabulous. That was like he was picking out words that he knew the guy would never say. So then, um, Neville told that story. So that's a specific person. And so there's my personal experience using the eavesdropping, which is now two different people. I've told you about the bosses. I've told you about me and my SP. I've told you about Neville's story. And now I will tell you someone who has been manifested, which I've never been manifested, or at least to my knowledge, because if we are being manifested, it feels natural to us and we'll never even know it pretty much. Because that's one of the things. Everything feels natural to your SP. If your SP is going to reach out to you, it just feels natural. Because I've asked my SP, when we were apart, what were you thinking? And because I was curious. I wanted to see how the law played out. She goes, I don't know. I mean, just occasionally it'd pop in my head and I'd feel like the urge to text you, but I just kind of wrote you off. Like, I mean, I already fucked up. I don't want to reach out, which was a vibe I was putting out there too. It's like, she probably doesn't, like, to soothe myself. I was like, she doesn't know how to come back to me. And it actually made it where she didn't know how to come back. And she eventually did. Like, she'd figure out, I'm like, but you'll figure out a way eventually. And then she did. Or we would run into each other and circumstances or opportunity for me to reach out, or like the right vibe. I mean, you guys know a lot of you who've watched the channel, if you go back in other videos or watch the lives or ask me the story, I'll tell you the story about like the crazy bridges that have unfolded each one of the times. And each time it's a little bit different, and each time it's really cool and it's worth the wait. I just don't want to do it anymore. Let's not go back to that. But now my client has been manifested by this specific person. And the thing was, they were long distance, they split up. He was moving about his life, but then he kept feeling an urge he said it felt like a pull, and he was going like this when he was explaining it to me. He said he felt like a pull to and it was like very much he wanted to message her and reach out to her, and he was feeling it over the course of months. And then they got to talking later, like he finally reached out, they started talking, and she knew about the law, he knew about the law. That was what brought them together, actually, was the knowledge of the law. And for, I guess, like 10 months, she was trying to manifest them, and he kept feeling this tug, and he was seeing other people and stuff, but he was feeling this tug and like wanting to be with her. And that kind of brought him into contact with him. He made him want to contact her and started talking. But during that time, she had also began seeing somebody else. And then he began manifesting her and working with me. And now I don't want to talk too much on the situation because there's confidentiality and everything, but there's an amazing circumstances unfolding in his favor. And I'm really happy and I'm really proud of him. And I know it's been unfolding longer than we've been working together, because the bridge is actually a really big bridge and it took a lot to unfold. But in my opinion and my belief system, it's in the end stages where they're already together. And I'm proud of him. And if you're watching this, brother, you know who you are. I'm very proud of you and your success. And I can't wait to report your full success story with your permission. But that was what I wanted to report because I thought it was so unique. And he even said you could share this with them, that he was feeling a pull and an urge. So picture your SP like almost like, ooh, getting that urge to message you, or like looking. I used to picture sometimes my SP looking at the phone and I knew my number was blocked, trying to find a way to unblock me or remember which number was mine, or reach out to a mutual friend who set us up or whatever. Like I would picture all these different things, and eventually she would find a way back. So it works. They believe, think, and feel what you want them to feel. And if it's not actually a feeling, it's a tug, and everything feels natural to them when it unfolds. It's their decision. It's what they want to do. And same thing with you. Like I said, I don't think I've ever been manifested, but if I did, I wouldn't know because everything felt natural. And my SP did say she doesn't know about manifesting, but she's semi-religious and prays every night. And she told me, I prayed for you every night when we were apart. And I was like, well, now I thought about it today when I knew I was going to make this video. I was like, maybe she was manifesting me just like I was manifesting her. And it just took a while. And even though we were both seeing other people for a little bit or whatever it was, we both had that urge to be together. So I don't know if it was me doing that for her or whatever, but it's pretty much goes back to the other principle of everyone is you pushed out. And it goes back to the idea that what you desire desires you. So internalize that, affirm that. What you desire desires you. And if you're manifesting them, they're manifesting you. What you're thinking and feeling, they're thinking and feeling. All right. So with that, I want to conclude this video. And once again, as always, I thank you guys for all your support. Put all my links in the bottom. I'm going to be, the merch is finally almost done. I worked on it today. It might be up already by the time you're watching this video. I'll make a community post on it. If you want to do personal coaching with me, it's $100 for an hour, which we usually go over. Just send me an email at mysticmanifesting@gmail.com. Some people write in the comments, how do I contact you? I put all the links to contact me in the description, so you can email me, or I'm on Instagram. You could follow me and send me a DM, and we'll set up a coaching session that way. And I want to announce that I'm going to do a VIP coaching, which you could email me for more details, but it will be $1,000 a month, where we do a weekly check-in, and I'll give those people who pay that my personal phone number, and during the weekdays, we'll talk. If you need like an emergency thing, like an emergency call, we'll talk, and we could talk on the phone within reason, because if there's, I'm going to limit it to 4 to 5 people, just so it's enough that I can maintain and still do other sessions. And then every Friday we'll check in, we'll recap the week, and we'll make sure you're mentally squared away for the weekend, because if it's SP related, we know the weekend is hell, but I'll make sure you're squared away and feeling good for the weekend, and help you come up with plans and stuff to do to keep your mind and your self-growth and self-betterment set up for the weekend, and check in on all the progress you've made that week. Then from there, you'll be able to check in too on the Monday lives, which everyone's invited to. If you can't afford coaching, every Monday morning I go live. Occasionally it's at Monday night, just depending. I've been reaching out to guests, which are other manifesting coaches, so we'll be going from there. When we finally hit 1,000 subscribers here, we'll be able to do a YouTube premium channel, which it's either going to be there or Patreon, where I'm going to make extra videos, but nothing different than here. It's just extra videos. If you want to hear me ramble and talk more and support me doing this, I would be much appreciated, but that's just a little extra option. And people have asked for a Discord and group coaching session. The group coaching thing I tried to do once, but we didn't have enough people sign up for it, so I thought it was a bad idea, because I'm like, who's going to, when you could pay for one-on-one coaching? So we'll go from there. Anyway, this is a long way rambling off. I might just make a community post, or I might do something else. But everyone who has donated to me, supported me, viewed all my videos from the beginning, subscribed, showed me love and everything, you guys are a big motivation to me. And I say this every video. It feels like I'm just repeating myself, but you guys do mean a lot to me. I do love you guys. I don't just say that empty at the end of every video that, oh, I love you guys, see you later. No, I really do. And I appreciate all the support you guys have for me, and the faith you have in me, and listening to my stories and keeping up with my thing, and a chance where, like, this viewing a video where I'm able to come out here and just say my own personal experiences, and you guys are able to take from it and feel helped and have success stories of your own. Like, I love reading your success stories in the mornings when I wake up. I love reading your comments. Even if I don't reply to them right away, I do read them every morning, and sometimes I don't respond because I like to put effort into my responses, but I always try to respond to everybody. So anyway, with all that, I do love you guys. I'll see you around. I made my announcements, and I hope this video helped. See you in the next one.